the young person should know that it's their life.
When the leaders speak, people listen. We all know that. After all, those youth, we are fighting for the leaders.
Hiyo do yenye hao wanasiasa wanatoa ni do tu yenye wanawapea tu ni once. Unaona na inaisha.
It is a country along the east coast of Africa, well known for and internationally acclaimed in the world of sports as home to the long-distance runners.
The world record holder for the half marathon.
Among its neighbors, it is reputed as the safe haven where citizens of neighboring warring countries are assured of refuge. Never once did Kenyans imagine that their fellow citizens or indeed themselves would have to flee their homes or their country as refugees. But this is the reality thousands had to face during the 2007-2008 post-election violence. A black page in Kenya's history when brothers turned against each other with all manner of crude weapons, brutally murdering their neighbors who they had lived with for all their lives. After 2 months of war and bloodshed in virtually every corner of the country, came the historic consensus between rival leader President Mwai Kibaki and now Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Although the peace accord as intended brought the violence and mayhem to an almost instant halt, it failed to address deep-seated feelings of bitterness amongst the previously warring communities. This being a fact well known to Kenyans, but one leaders are unwilling to acknowledge, leave alone address. Long-standing negative stereotypes were now strengthened, all these bubbling under a now peaceful, perceivedly calm and normal Kenya. But this was far from the case. Hence, the birth of Tuelewane Exchange Program.
Actually, we were looking at ways in which we can bring the young people together. You understand, in most cases, we have had a situation where young people are brought up in one place, they go to school in one place, go to secondary school in the same place, and in college in the same place. So we thought we could have this opportunity so that we bring them to interact together.
You can't say, I will meet this if. There is no if. It is that you will meet those targets.
A brainchild of former Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Youth and Sports, the late Kinuthia Morogo, the program is funded by the United Nations Development Program and the Ministry of Youth and Sports. It seeks to bring young people together in a bid to eliminate negative tribal stereotypes as well as negative ethnicity.
UNDP is a development organization, but development does not happen unless we have peace. That is the fundamental principle that we stand on. That is why UNDP, being a development organization of the United Nations, places a particular interest or particular emphasis on conflict prevention, conflict resolution.
Starting with ethnic communities known to harbor especially negative attitudes towards each other, the Tuelewane Exchange Program works with 2 groups of youth at a time, each group getting a chance to host the other in their home area.
We picked on the youth because, as you know, they are the majority in this country. Yeah? Between the age of 1 and 30, we have over 75%. And if we are going to make any positive change in this country, we have to involve the youth. The country belongs to them.
The first exchange involved Kikuyu from Kiambu and the Luo youth from Rarieda. The second brought together young people from Marakwet in North Rift and a group from Tetu in Central Province. The third exchange saw youth of Msambweni at the coast share ideas and cultures with youth from the largest slum in Africa, Kibera. Fourth on the list came youth from Eldoret East and those from Borabu in Kisii. The program basically works by taking 20 young people from each community. The group of 40 then spent 2 weeks camping together in the first group's home area. During this time, they get to socialize as well as share their cultures. Another 2 weeks are spent in the other community's home area.
People tend to stay within their own enclaves, and it is only people who work in towns who get to mix. So allowing people to travel across those enclaves is extremely important, and especially for youth. And then they realize that there is not much of a difference between them, but that some of the prejudices they have of each other are just that, prejudices.
During the Marakwet-Tetu exchange, for instance, the two groups spent 2 weeks camped in the heart of Marakwet. They spent their days in productive activities like tree planting or leisurely taking a swim in one of the many rivers in the area. The evenings are spent learning about the Marakwet culture from an elderly member of the community who manages to both educate and entertain the youth. The culture night is one of the highlights of the entire experience. Prior to this night, the young people spend hours preparing the traditional foods from their communities, each one out to produce an immaculately prepared traditional dish.
Tunapika mboga ya kienyeji, inaitwa kisoyo kwa kinyumbani, vile tunaita wasasi wetu wa zamani walikuwa wakiita.
Soon after that comes the long-awaited supper time, when the hosting Kalenjin youth get to sample traditionally prepared getheri, mukimo, and a host of other Kikuyu traditional dishes. The Tetu youth also get to try morsik, millet, and other Kalenjin dishes for the very first time. When they can eat no more, the dancing begins. They then present to each other traditional dances from their communities. Another highlight of the cultural experience is the homestay. Each youngster from the hosting community hosts the visiting youth in his home for 2 nights. Throughout the visit, youth get to experience living in a typical Marakwet home.
Chakula tofauti kutoka huko kwetu na vile wanakaa si kama huko kwetu. Kuna kimila zao, baba hawezi ingia jikoni.
I was happy when I was given 2 visitors. I was great. And when we reached there, the way you saw yesterday, the old woman was very happy. And my visitors enjoyed the place very well.
Meet Daisy, a young lady from Eldoret, one of the youth who attended the Eldoret-Kisii exchange. She confesses to having feared the worst from the Kisii youth before they traveled to Borabu in Kisii.
Vile tulikuwa tunatoka hapa, tulikuwa tunahofu kuwa unajua wa Kisii huwa tunasikizanga wa Kisii ni kuna right runners, wengine ni wachawi, mara nini. Sasa vile tulikuwa tunaenda, tulikuwa tunahofu kuwa labda wataturoga, mara nini, watatuchapa. Lakini nili realize that hao ni watu wazuri sana.
24-year-old Kimboy from Eldoret also admits that he had reservations about his trip to Kisii.
Kwanza sikuwa na imagine kama naweza lala huko kwa Wakisii, lakini vile nilienda huko hata nilishangaa sana juu kwanza mama yake alini welcome, tukakaa na masizi yake wakatundia kwanza dish yenyewe yenye iliundwa. Nilifikiria maybe haiwezi karime na ile yetu ya home. Unajua sasa sisi tumezoea ile dish yetu ya home.
His mother even advised him against making the trip, fearing for his safety.
That evening kenda nikaambia mother ataniambia bana, kulingana na vile Wakisii wako sidhani na mbele hii maneno yenye ili happen Tuesday. So kuna vile nafikiria maneno itakuwa ngumu. You have heard of Chingororo na wenye walijaribu ku-treat MP siku ile.
Irene from Eldoret also attended the Kisii Eldoret exchange. For her, it was an eye-opening experience comparable to no other.
Kwanza kabisa inapanua mawazo yao, wajue ya kwamba watu wengine kule na huku wako kitu kimoja. Yani kama wa Kenya tuko kitu kimoja.
Now, more than a year after the Marakwet-Tetu exchange program, The very same young people who were so terrified of each other keep in touch and maintain close friendships despite the thousands of miles between them.
Akaniandikia SMS akaniambia niko na harusi tarehe mwezi, so nilijipanga alafu nikaenda harusi yake kwa huko Tetu.
Not to mention numerous other similar programs replicated in other parts of the country.
We started this, but other communities have now started on their own without our involvement. I think that's a very good sign that people are seeing this as a good success story. Other donors also are coming in and starting as similar exchange programs. So we are very happy that we became a catalyst